All right, today we're going to dive into a tool that's trying to be so much more than just another AI chatbot. It's Google's NotebookLM, and it's built from the ground up to be your own personal research studio. Seriously, it could completely change how we work with information.
I mean, we've all been there, right? Doesn't matter if you're a student, a researcher, or just someone who's super curious. Sometimes the sheer amount of stuff coming at you just feels like a tidal wave. It is completely and totally overwhelming.
Oh man, this slide, this is basically my life some days, and I'm guessing it might be yours too. You know the drill. A browser with like 50 tabs open, a desktop that looks like a graveyard for PDFs you swear you're going to read, and those frantic, half-written notes you took during a video. And then, days later, you have that awful feeling when you just can't remember that one key fact you know you saw. So here's our game plan. We'll start by talking about the source-grounded AI that makes this whole thing tick. Then, we'll look at how it turns your boring old documents into a real conversation. After that, and this is the really fun part, we'll explore how it becomes a multimedia creation powerhouse. And to wrap it all up, we'll get real with a balanced look at what's amazing about it and where it still falls a little short.
Okay, let's jump right into our first section and meet this new kind of AI. The thing that makes NotebookLM so different isn't that it knows everything on the internet. It's that it knows your stuff inside and out. So think of it less like a know-it-all oracle and more like a super focused research partner who's read everything you've given it.
So what is this thing really? Well, at its heart, NotebookLM is an AI assistant, but with a huge twist. It's designed to be your collaborator, you know? It's there to help you connect the dots and make sense of the information that you give it, basically turning you into the world's leading expert on your own material. Now, this right here, this is the secret sauce. The term is source-grounded, and it's a huge deal. You know how other AIs can sometimes just make stuff up? They pull from the entire messy, weird internet. Well, NotebookLM's knowledge is locked only to the documents you upload, and that creates a ton of trust, because every single thing it tells you is directly tied to your own materials. And you can feed this thing pretty much anything you can think of. We're talking PDFs, Google Docs, stuff you just copy-paste, web links, and this is where it gets really cool. It can even pull the transcript from public YouTube videos or listen to audio files you upload. That kind of flexibility is a total game changer, because it means you can build a project from almost any source you can find. All right, so you've loaded all your sources into a notebook. What happens next? Well, this is where we go from static documents to an actual dialogue. This is where your files really start to come alive. So the basic superpower here is just having a conversation. Let's say you've uploaded 5 super dense, jargon-filled research papers. You can just ask it, hey, summarize the main points for me, or explain this key term like I'm 5. And get this, every single answer comes with these little numbered citations. You can click one and bam, you're looking at the exact sentence in the original document it's referencing. But simple Q&A, that's just scratching the surface. I mean, that's kind of table stakes for AI now, right? This is where NotebookLM takes a huge leap. It goes from being a passive assistant to being an active, creative partner. What if your research could become the raw material for something totally new? And welcome to the studio panel. This slide shows where NotebookLM stops being a research tool and becomes a full-on creative engine. This is where that pile of PDFs and notes you have isn't just for studying anymore. With a click, it can be transformed into an AI-hosted podcast, a narrated video explainer, a mind map, a slide deck. I mean, look at all this. It's a whole suite of tools designed to help you share what you've learned in completely new ways. Now for what is, in my opinion, the most exciting, mind-blowing part of this tool. Let's really dig into how NotebookLM becomes a multimedia powerhouse. We're talking about turning your research into actual, tangible, creative assets. This is way beyond text on a page. This quote from XDA just hits the nail on the head. We'll start with the audio overview. It's one of those things that sounds a little silly or gimmicky at first, but for so many people, the moment they try it is the moment this whole tool just clicks. Suddenly, you're absorbing a dense paper while you're on the train or out for a walk. And let me be clear, this is not just a robotic voice reading text. No way. The AI generates a whole simulated podcast between 2 different AI hosts. They actually discuss your documents, they debate points, they connect ideas. It makes really complex topics feel so much more approachable. And then you can just download the whole thing as an audio file. And what's even better is that you get to be the director of this little podcast. Need a quick summary before a meeting? Tell it you want a brief.
Want to see if your own argument holds up? Generate a critique and listen to the AI hosts poke holes in your logic. It's an incredible way to learn and to self-edit. Okay, so an AI-generated podcast is pretty cool. But what if you're a visual learner? Well, if you thought the audio was impressive, get ready, because NotebookLM can also generate an entire video explainer from your sources. This is where it goes from impressive to absolutely incredible. And the creative freedom here is just wild. This is not some boring one-size-fits-all video template. Look at all these styles. You can get a classic professional whiteboard animation. Done. You want something more colorful and playful? Maybe an anime or kawaii style? You got it. You can even just describe a custom style that you want it to create. It's all about making your information not just clear, but genuinely engaging to watch. But wait, it actually gets even better. For premium users, this feature gets a massive upgrade to cinematic video overviews. In this mode, Google's top-tier AI, Gemini, basically becomes your personal creative director. It makes smart decisions about the story, the visuals, the pacing, and even the music to create these short, documentary-style videos that look genuinely impressive. It's a huge step up and a real peek into the future of creating content. Now, beyond audio and video, NotebookLM also helps you see the forest for the trees. It can instantly generate these really cool interactive mind maps. They visually lay out all the key concepts from your sources, showing you how everything connects. You can click around, zoom in. It's a fantastic way to grasp the big picture. So it all sounds pretty perfect, right? And in a lot of ways, it's an amazing tool. But for this to be a real explainer, we have to talk about the whole picture. It's still a pretty new tool, and while the promise is massive, users have definitely run into some real limitations. So here's the bottom line. On one hand, you have this fantastic source-grounded AI that can whip up podcasts and videos. But on the other hand, a lot of users report feeling like their work is trapped in a walled garden. It's hard to export your conversations, your different projects can't connect with each other, and the citations just aren't rigorous enough for formal academic papers. It's this incredible engine for generating ideas, but it's missing some of the basic infrastructure for managing knowledge long-term. And this quote from Beatrice Manuel over at XDA just sums up that feeling perfectly. It feels like the beginning of something transformative, except it keeps stopping short. You can just feel the potential. You can see how this could be the ultimate thinking and creation workspace. But right now, you keep bumping into these foundational walls that stop it from being the tool you can use for everything every day. And that really brings us to this final huge thought. A tool like NotebookLM doesn't just change our workflow, it really challenges our whole idea of what it even means to learn, to research, and to synthesize information. It's not just a tool you use, it's a partner in the process. So the question really isn't just about how you're going to manage all this information anymore. The real question is, what are you going to create with it? As tools like NotebookLM get better, they're blurring the lines between consumption and creation, turning every single one of us into a potential creator. Thanks so much for watching.